2016 Hot 6 GSL Season 2 Code S.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another day of the GSL Code S. I'm Tasteless, as pretty much always, joined by Artosis, and it is good to be back. We have another fantastic day. It's another group of death.
Yeah, this group is stupid good, guys. Like, welcome, because tonight is going to be ridiculous. TY, Impact, SOS, and Super.
Yeah.
Like, Group A and Group E, by far the strongest.
And a lot on the line here
we
as
are.
well. Oh yeah, here we are down here. Oh, Godzilla Curie.
Curie, oh, please.
So, SOS, a lot on the line here.
Yeah.
He needs to get deep in this tournament or he's not going to be at BlizzCon.
He's at exactly the same spot as Maru. Like, Maru just needs to get to at least finals to have a shot, really.
Right.
SOS has to do that as well. And imagine that, finals. Maru versus SOS for a spot at BlizzCon.
That would be so cool.
Mind blown. But yeah, this is like, if he doesn't do it, he's not the world champion this year. That's it. He's just not going to make it.
And he's been the world champion a few times already.
Yeah.
So, it would be weird to have BlizzCon without him. So, a lot that he's have to fight for here today. Impact and Super, I think it's fair to say, are overshadowed by the other two players, but they really shouldn't be. They're actually playing so well.
Yeah, Super's in fantastic shape. We've seen him just kind of crushing it in Pro League overall. He's been doing well in individual leagues as well. And Impact is, like, my choice is the next big thing for Zerg. I think that this guy is unbelievably talented.
I agree.
We've seen him really rising up over the years, and he's hitting right about that spot right now where you start watching his games, you're like, you're so godly. Like, he knocked out Curious in Code A in probably the best ZVZ that I've seen this year was from Impact. It was just so well done. So, like, if he plays well today, if he's on, he can absolutely get out of this group.
Yeah. So, guys, tell your friends to tune in. By the way, it was really fun casting Brood War with you yesterday.
Yeah, we're having a great time casting Brood War, guys. Make sure you're checking out the ASL.
Yeah. If you're just a regular GSL watcher, we have a sister tournament that we are doing nowadays. We're only about 2 days into it, but we are casting Brood War. Brood War is still going strong here. And if you like StarCraft 2, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to watch StarCraft 1.
No,
there's no reason.
They're both just ridiculously awesome games. And maybe you're a StarCraft 1 fan and you're like, well, let me see what this GSL stuff's all about.
Yeah, maybe you're like, I only like games with bad graphics. Well, you might want to come check out StarCraft 2. It's pretty damn good, despite how good its graphics are.
Yeah. I wonder what they're still talking about having to do with this. It's kind of weird, but
I'm not sure. Well, you know, there's a lot on the line here.
Oh, so they were talking about who's actually getting deep in SSL. But anyways, looks like it's time for the interview video, Tasteless.
Let's see how our players are doing.
Oh, beautiful, why so blue?
야왜 돈 나온 거 안 알려줬어? 봤는데 이제 다 상향 평준화 된 거 같아서 다른 선수 없는 거 같고 그냥 제가 잘해서 올라가야 될 것 같아요.
처음 대진 들었을 때 워낙 쟁쟁한 선수들이기도 하고 다 하나하나 종족씩 있다 보니까 좀 연습하기도 힘들 것 같고 일단 상대 선수들이 너무 강해가지고 좀 원망스러워요.
처음 대진 프로 갔을 때 일단 테란하고 저그전을 좀 많이 하고 싶었는데 프로토스가 분명히 내리 연속으로 걸리는 바람에 굉장히 좀 아쉬웠고요.
일단 저희 조가 제일 센 것 같더라고요. 저 빼고 센 조라는 인식을 바꿔드렸어요.
저그가 요즘 테란 상대로 굉장히 많이 힘들하시고 테란으로서 좀 저그전에 자신감을 갖고 있어서 김준혁 선수가 가장 쉽지 않을까 생각을 해요.
솔직히 누구랑 해도 연습만 열심히 준비 잘하면 다 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
김준혁 선수요. 예전에 같은 팀이었거든요. 그때 많이 이겨봤기 때문에 그때는 걔는 연습생이었거든요. 거의. 그래서 마음이 편할 것 같아요.
이번이 제가 스타리그도 떨어지고 올해 마지막 개인 리그이기 때문에 무조건 결승 가고 싶어요.
이게 마지막 남은 개인 리그이기 때문에 미련 없이 하고 싶어요.
강한 선포라기보다 그냥 저는 2위로라도 올라가는 게 일단 목적이어가지고 제 앞길만 잘하면 될 것 같아요.
대학이요. 각오하셔도 좋을 것 같아요.
준혁아 너를 포함 정말 미안하고 나도 사실 이번 GSL을 계속 시청하면서 서브들이 많이 올라갔으면 좋겠다는 생각이 많이 드는데 나랑 같이 16강에 올라갔으면 좋겠다.
요즘 기세가 좋아가지고 제가 도전자의 입장에서 꼭 이겨야 될 것 같아요.
뭐 딱히 크게 할 말은 없는데 서로 그냥 좋은 모습 보여줬으면 좋겠습니다.
Okay, so I just gotta say, I felt like when we had TY's interview done, which is over the phone, I feel like I'm imagining he's in jail somewhere. That's going on. Like I don't know why I'm here. I'm completely innocent. I need $100 to bail me out. By the way, guys, thank you for coming down here tonight.
Quite a packed studio so far.
Yeah. Well, I can't say I'm too surprised. This is going to be a really cool day. TY, I don't know if this is going to sound weird, but I'm actually a little bit more excited about TY nowadays than even Morrow. I love the way he plays.
Yeah,
and I really am curious to see how deep he's going to get here, because TY has been around for a very, very long time. All the way back in early Brood War, he started out his career at this like incredibly young age, and to see him get to a finals and not quite make it only makes me want to see him win even more.
Well, he's really peaking at this point, and it's ridiculous how strong he is, what a smart player he is, and I do have to agree, he is my favorite Terran to watch, hands down. The guy is just, he's ridiculous, but he has his work cut out for him tonight.
Sorry, I was drinking water. Yes, you are correct.
Like, you don't think so? Like, you think it's just gonna
I just stare at you, I'm like, I can't believe you just said that. Like, all right, so here's a closer look at TY. This guy is so sick, man. He is so good. As a Terran player, it's truly an inspiration. But he could potentially even not make it here. I mean, really, this is a group where anybody could get out. I think we all expect TY and SOS, but frankly, if they don't get out, you might. It might not be fair to say that that's too surprising.
No, I think that would be unfair. Like, Super and Impact are at that level where they absolutely can win against anyone on, it's one of those like any given Sunday things. If they show up and play like Super was saying, that can change it all. And Impact's saying if he prepares well and can play well, he can beat everyone in the group, and he's completely right about that. This kid has a lot of talent, a lot of potential. And, he had like 2 accounts in the top 10 of GM Ladder last season or the season before, and like just a ridiculously strong Zerg. I'm holding out so much hope for him, Tasteless. Over the next couple of years, I think he's going to be right up there with players like Dark.
No pun intended, but he might be the next Zerg Bancho. He really might be, man. He's really good. This is going to be a fun match to cast, man. This is going to be cool. Guys, tell your friends to join us here at the GSL Codex. Get out there, tweet about it, use whatever social media you're using, and spread the word. So, to start this out, it is going to be a best of 3 in this group stage. We're going to start out on the map Frost, then Dust Towers, and if we do go to match number 3, it'll be on GSL Judgment.
Wow, GSL Judgment. I'm really hoping it goes to Game 3. We haven't gotten to see even a single game on Judgment yet.
Well, this is the problem, is whenever we have a new map, the pro gamers a lot of times try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if you're playing like 10 hours a day, training, grinding, and then a new map comes out where you might only have like a few weeks to do that, if you actually are practicing, you want to be on the map that you just play the most, understandably.
Totally. Like the new ladder season popped up, and I didn't get to start playing it until a couple days ago, and I tell you, those new maps have just slain me, Tasteless.
Oh no, I love when a new map comes out, but I'm in the same mood as everybody else when I have to play a few games on it and then I lose this stupid stuff because I don't quite have the architecture figured out. It can be quite frustrating. Anyways, guys, this is game number 1. TY against Impact on the map Frost. Over here in the blue, our Terran player, 2nd place in the last GSL.
KT Rolster, TY.
And in the red, our Zerg player, up and coming.
SK Telecom T1.
I love that pose. What is that pose? It's so funny. It's like holding his heart and looking towards the sky.
They do ask the pro gamers to do some kind of a pose. You know what I mean? They just don't want to have like, oh, thanks for coming down, guys. Welcome to the studio. It's yeah, we always ask the pro gamers to do some kind of pose, right? Because it looks a little bit cooler. But that was not the pose you would expect to.
Yeah, we've had
him holding his heart.
No, certainly not. Very original though, so props to him for that.
So on this map, we have diagonal spawns. And just because of the way this map is shaped, there's a little cavity in the middle, 2 watchtowers. It's not easy for Terran to push across. Now, granted, it is TY here. That might not be as much of a factor because of how good he is. But
yeah, like TY is. I'm a little bit nervous for him because this is cross spawns, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit harder for him to do like a finishing move. I wonder what he's going to open up with, like maybe a Maru type of style. Well, I don't want to call it a Maru style. I guess he's just so good at it. I think of it that way sometimes. But like maybe the quick stim with 2 medevacs, something like that. Let's see if he throws up the second barracks.
So go for like harass, just try to.
He's just teching. So like the thing is, I don't think he's going to be able to get too much damage done against Impact. Just looking at the fact that he is already getting this factory here, I just feel like Impact is going to be able to get this into the late game. And Impact is fantastic at the late game. Like, if he doesn't screw up early on, I think he's a really strong player. So I'm super looking forward to this right now.
This is, I totally agree with what you're saying, too. I think if Impact does go into the late game, he's going to be in really good shape. And just due to the spawning locations on this map, this is actually the map that could definitely happen on.
Yeah.
So we got the SCV coming in here, peeking, and actually backs up right away. That was a good move since the Lings are already going to be out. No point in sending that in any further.
He knows these timings like the back of his hand. Maybe they're written on the back of his hand. Who knows? I wonder if they'd allow that, something written on the back of your hand.
Did you ever see that? This was like years ago when Sarah Palin got caught writing on her hand in an interview. And she's like, the 3 things that are most important to me is like taxation and then you can watch the video. You actually should YouTube this. It's like so cringe, but you actually she like glances down her hand and she's like freedom, and then like they zoomed in on it later on. I mean, it's like she actually wrote it literally on her hand.
That's so funny. You ever write things on your hands or your arms or anything?
I think I did when I was younger. I mean, with a smartphone, I think if you're writing stuff on your hands, that would be.
Well, the thing is, how many things do you write in your smartphone that you forget about?
Actually, a lot. That's a good point.
You might want to start writing on your hands
again,
Tasteless.
What I do now? What are you trying to tell me something like Tasteless? Get it together, man. Actually, I was thinking. I remember a while back I was talking to a tournament organizer. We got the Hellions pushing out here, by the way. It looks like these Lings are going to try to come in here. He should get the depot up no matter what. Okay, he blocks it out.
He's getting cloaked, by the way. That's a nice little scout, but he has Overlord speed anyways, so that was not going to stay hidden.
Okay, so like 15 years ago, I was at a StarCraft Brood War tournament. And I always listen to music when I play.
Yeah.
And so I had like a CD player because it was 15 years ago or something like that.
No, I used to have a CD player.
I would be less nervous when I played music. And the tournament organizer actually told me I couldn't use it. And I was like, why not? Well, hold on.
Can you say the name of this tournament organizer?
It was I don't even remember his name. It wasn't the one you're thinking of, the one that always was a pain in the ass. But so by the way, the Hellions got driven out. But the guy goes, you can't listen to music, or you can't listen to that CD while you're playing. And I'm like, why? And he goes, I don't know what's on there. What if that's going to help you somehow? And I'm like, are you serious? Like,
what is
I'm like, what could I possibly be listening to that would help me? Like, make workers. Like, what? The most elaborate attempt to cheat in a tournament where the first place gets a free mouse. I'm like.
That actually kind of reminds me of, ancient Roman triumphs. Like if you did something greatly as a Roman, you could get a triumph.
What do you mean by a triumph?
So like people would, let's say that like you conquered all of Gaul or something.
Okay.
Then they'd be like, okay, you get a triumph where they like put you on a chariot and bring you through the city, and like your troops get to like go on display, and like they just kind of treat you like you're a god, but there's someone that stands behind you and reminds you that you're mortal the whole time, and just like whispering in your ear, remember that you're mortal.
Well, we need that when we get to BlizzCon, man. I want a nerd with a saddle. I get on his back and ride him into the...
That's funny.
That's funny. Okay, anyways, guys, this game is actually starting to pick up here. We got Banshees out. He wants to poke in with these and try to kill the workers. The Queens are actually pretty well set up, so I don't know if it's going to work. And he's going to try to come do that now. So he's going to be able to just gun these down. But it usually, especially like with how Zergs are nowadays, this usually does like a minimal amount of damage.
Yeah,
but it's worth
very
doing.
Good. You know, he may as well fly around and try to get a little bit of harassment done. By the way, it's really interesting to see this change. Like, there's been such a big resurgence of Banshees against Zergs since you know, the buff to Queens and Spores. And, you know, obviously that's because they're going to be able to move quicker and still get drones, whereas the Liberator has all that setup time. So, kind of cool to see. But right now, TY moving out with double tank vacs and a handful of Marines.
Okay, so he's going to push up here. Now, TY is quite good at this. So I've actually seen him break a lot of Zergs where it didn't look like that was going to be the case, and he did it. Zerg counterattacks in here. He's going to force the workers to try to defend. Meanwhile, over here, the attack is ensuing. Those tanks are in range of some of these workers. So this is going to force Zerg to initiate. Looks like TY a little bit preoccupied with what's going on in this attack up here. The air attack at the top right side of the map not being micromanaged properly.
Yeah,
it looks
14
like.
Drones already going down. This was super effective from TY.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't think they're going to get the layer, but
well, that would be pretty crazy if it did happen. Let's see. I believe all the queens are down there. This would take way too long to kill this building, but if he does drop the ball and lose that, he will just lose the game.
Yeah, that would
Call
be
it a
really,
hunch,
really bad. lose your main layer to 2 Banshees that are right-clicked on it. That would be pretty awful.
Okay, so he drives it out. That's only about 25% health. I can't remember a game that I've casted in a long time where something like that actually happened. Good job here by the Zerg dropping the creep so that the command center can't land. Looks like he clears that up. That's going to dissipate pretty quickly. And, yeah, good hold there by Impact.
Yeah, I did lose more drones than you want to see, though, so I'm a little bit nervous for him going forward here. I didn't think that was going to do quite as much damage as TY was able to pull off. And now TY, you know, he had his third command center building during that. He's going to be able to land that down. His 1-1 is lined up pretty well with Impact, so he's not really behind on upgrades. And it's looking pretty strong for TY here, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. I think TY is just overall in a little bit of a better position. The handling of that push was really good. He did do the damage he needed to do. And by the way, he's still hitting with these tanks. Oh, my God. Look at these Banshees, man. These are like the greatest Banshees I've ever seen. They're going to be doing so much damage. They're actually hitting that hatchery at the top.
Look at that. There's 4 queens in that overlord. And now it's maybe going up to try to deal with the 2 Banshees at the 4th base. But that makes the tanks more annoying.
What? Okay, he actually forces a cancel here. Okay, so I think this is almost breaking a record here for how much damage we're seeing done here with 2 Banshees.
Yeah.
I almost touched on this, but we ended up talking about some other stuff. But I was going to say, you know, one of my concerns whenever I see players go for Banshees is if they don't do a lot of damage, you've spent money on these like aircraft units that don't end up paying for themselves.
Yeah.
Well, this time they really paid for themselves, Artosis.
They've been so busy on the map, just like putting on damage, kind of taxing this multitasking. Look at that, 33 drones dead so far. And don't forget the initial group of Hellions just died doing absolutely nothing. So I didn't think it was going to end up looking like this, but good on TY. He's really bringing it today.
Yep. And actually, he's going to go back onto that. He can get this queen if he does it right. Nope. Good control there by Impact. Impact backs up. 1 Banshee, a lot less scary than 2. But yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at this game correctly, I think TY just sits back, continues to produce, and he'll actually push. The supply count is at 160 to about 150 here for TY. That's a pretty considerably close supply in a TVZ, especially at this phase. We're about 10 minutes in. But
when he's on Roach Tech as well, don't forget, right? He's only up like 15 army supply on this type of Roach Tech. So if TY sits in a defensive spot here, there's no way Impact's going to be able to do very much against him. All right, he's sending out 2 medevacs up north, and now Impact has to decide, does he kind of chase those? Does he go up and defend this 4th base that's obviously going to be attacked?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. So I got to say, TY getting a lot of value out of the drops he's done so far. I'm kind of surprised, actually, that he's going to take a 4th base here. I guess it's fine. You know what I mean? I thought he would have pushed after this. I think he might be able to just do both, too.
Yeah, no, I like what he's doing because he's playing against just Roach Ravager. Like, that's all Impact is making. So TY is kind of turtling up. He's made most of his supply depots in front of his Siege Tanks and Marines, which is going to screw up all the AI. Look at that.
Look at that. You're not going to break that.
No, you're never going to break that. This is a lot of Ravagers, though. We definitely have to bring that up. 2-2 is going to be finishing up here for TY really, really soon. And it looks like he's going to attack. He doesn't have a lot to actually tank damage here, though.
Yeah, he's coming in now. The Liberators are setting up. He's going to try to break him down. A lot of damage coming in right now. A good high ground position here on the bottom of our screen. And you know, if you notice, he can juggle the tanks around. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see Zerg actually breaking this, and I think a lot of turrets actually would be broken.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like he might be able to get into the top though.
I think he's got to back up here. Like, he didn't have much to tank in the first place. He lost a ridiculous amount of Ravagers there. Not sure that was truly worth it.
Oh my God!
Man.
He's actually going to get it. Oh, goes down.
Oh man.
Okay, so
those two banshees, I never thought I'd see that.
We've been casting for 6 years, and we do not really ever have a game where that is gunned down in the main. Not in Codas. You never. I mean, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, not at this level of play. I mean, that's going to be a big morale blow to Impact. He's got several games to play today, but this is a really bad start.
There's no really redeeming thing about the position that Impact's in here. He's like barely mining from this 4th base. He did a massive Ravager attack that didn't do anything. He lost his lair. And what really sucks about this is that, you know, he was in cross spawns on Frost. It's so far away. Like, a macro game should be able to go a little bit better for him, but TY with his multitasking, those Banshees, the Tank of Axe, there wasn't much that Impact could do, and it looks like he's just kind of going all in here.
Well, you know what? For as bad as this game is going for Impact, I think this is probably the best of all moves he could make, is to try to just go for a killing blow. So let's see if TY can hang on. Coming in now, TY just going to go and back up. TY knows that as long as he stays alive, he should be in good shape. So he comes in there, tries to gun down a few more units. The artillery forces him to back up. I mean, this is such a futile game, really, at this point in time for Impact.
It feels that way.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
You know, he's making some cool moves here, like trying to zone everything out with the Ravagers. He's denying a lot of mining at the 4th base. Oh, this is going to hurt him really badly, though. This is only a part of his army. He's bringing up the rest of it now. Does force everything back.
You know, one of the problems when you do Roach Ravager is, even though these are both range units, Terran can a lot of time, because of Stim, still run in, hit, and do damage, and before the rest of the units can make an arc so they can all do their damage, he runs away.
That's right, yeah.
It's funny, but if you watch closely, I mean, Terran, back there, almost all those little fights, those little snips they took at each other, Terran got a little bit more value out of it.
Their range is just better on the Terran units, so that's like part of the reason why Roaches are so tough to use in the late game.
Yeah.
A lot of Corrosive Bile still going down, but he's really not gaining much value during any of these attacks. I would say, like, basically on every little piece of micro that we saw there, TY was getting ahead, as you were saying.
Well, it looks like Impact is going to be forced to just continue this game onward. He's actually taking another base. We see in the lower right quadrant of the map here. And I'm just not sure. The one unfortunate thing for Zerg on this map is that the longer the game goes on, the tougher it gets for them to get additional bases. You kind of use up your little quarter of the map, and then it gets a lot tougher from there.
Yeah, he is trying to take a 5th base, like, down towards the bottom right, in that, like, bottom right 3rd base location, but will he be able to hold that? He's trying to stay as the aggressor and keep TY back. But again, like, for instance, look at the army supplies. Is this something that he's going to win over the long term, especially as we see TY? He's going into +3 attack. Like, his upgrades are going to keep getting better, whereas that's not really the case right now for Impact.
And unfortunately, just due to the nature of what units they've made this game, I feel like every time Impact tries to come in and do damage, he's going to always be taking a lot of damage. So every engagement would have to go perfectly, and I don't think it's going to happen here. In fact, Terran somehow, kind of when it is an odd turn of events, just somehow almost surrounded Zerg and cut them off from retreating out of the normal way.
Oh, man, yeah, no, he's going to lose everything
I think that's it. Yeah, there it is, GG. You don't normally see that every day. It's actually kind of a funny way that game ended, but it's like he came in there and tried to do damage, and suddenly Terran's above him, and he actually can't go home.
Yeah. Very well played by TY.
Yeah.
You know, I would say that the multitasking of Impact didn't really go as it should have there. When the 2 Banshees plus the 2 Tank of Axe and the Marines, it was a good attack by TY. I don't think it should have killed. How many drones did it kill? It killed like 12? The very first push? It's like, ooh, that's a lot of damage to be taken that early in the game.
Well, it's not over yet, guys. We are going to go to game number 2, but I got to say, TY looking very promising. Really no holes in his play there.
Yeah, you can see why he wanted a lot of Zergs to play against.
Yeah, well, it looks like he can really just bully the Zerg around the map. So we're going to go into map number 2 on Dusk Towers. A lot of pressure on Impact right now. Let's not forget that he did lose his lair to a drop.
Yeah, no, that,
like,
that put him into a terrible spot.
I mean, think about, if you guys watch StarCraft 2 a lot, think of how many times you've ever seen that happen.
Yeah.
First of all, Banshees gets up to 25% HP. Like, that's not supposed to happen. You know, TY
that was actually
on
even bad
that.
by TY.
Yeah.
TY should have done something else with
Yeah,
his Banshees.
yeah, this is so funny
I guess it paid off, though, right?
Yeah. He was doing too many things. He's like, I'll just have him do damage here until I get back to it.
Yeah.
In the bottom right, we have
KT Rolster, TY.
in the upper left in the red.
SK Telecom T1, Impact.
Well, I'm really hoping Impact can show a slightly better game here, but we have a proxy barrack, so that's a little bit scary.
Yeah, this is... whoop. Oh, good. We got some TY support here, carrying the torch.
Oh, wow.
He's got his collector's card.
Yeah, I like that kind of blinking flashlight thing. That looks like the things that I buy my little girl when we go to, like, Disneyland and stuff, you know? It's like all the little kids hold that up during the parade.
Oh, really?
You know?
That's so cute.
It's like, look, I have flashing lights, too.
Remember when you were a little kid and, like, some of the stuff that you would just think was so awesome, like if your mom got you a super soaker?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, my God.
Absolutely.
You had all your little water gun weapons? Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The toys that little kids like sometimes are very, very cute indeed. You know, I'm going on a vacation on Friday, but my family went out like a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to cast GSL this week. So, but apparently she got a new toy while she was out there. Her grandmother brought her to like the toy section of Walmart or something.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a puppy that poops, like a little...
It's a toy puppy that poops?
Yeah. That's a thing now, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. She loves it,
But I'm
though.
assuming it poops, so you have to put... Does it open up and you put the poop back in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe it just poops once and it's like, well, that was very interesting.
But yeah,
that would be the really expensive one. That's for the one percenters. You got to throw the toy away after it poops once.
Well, I
got,
certainly would. I don't want a pooping toy.
already, the Reaper's going to come in here. Ooh, we almost lost that.
Yeah, that would have really been bad. Oh my God, so close.
Razor's Edge here.
Yeah. This, by the way, hasn't really done that much. Like, he's making some Marines out of it, but for having a Proxy Reaper, is this enough?
I mean,
think so. It wasn't like a huge cost for him to do this.
Okay,
but
so here's the thing. Because a lot of times people be like, you know, this is so great. Look, he's doing this harass. Actually, this is pretty good if he gets that Overlord.
That is nice.
Here's the problem, guys, when you do this, is that when you make that building all the way on the other side of the map, and if you don't do that much damage with it, this building has to float, okay? You're not going to have that barracks over there the whole time. And if it's floating, you spent money on this production building that you're not using for a while.
And it can't be making add-ons. It can't be making Marines. It's kind of annoying in that way. So he's just going to have less units on a new push. He's got to make up for that by doing some damage. He's gotten an Overlord. I mean, he's forced, quote-unquote, like 8-lings or 6-lings here. That's not really that big a deal, I don't feel. But, you know, he's still got the Reaper out here, trying to figure out what's going on. This is a rather quick layer, by the way, by Impact.
Yeah.
Quite a quick layer.
Yeah, he's definitely going for a little bit of a different style here.
Yeah.
Statistically, this map does make for the longest games, but it might not be the case this time around. We'll see.
You know what I think we're going to see here? I think this is going to be a Night Assault based on the proxy racks because he knows he'll have less units than normal.
I think the moment that you said that, I think that was the exact moment our observer realized it.
Oh, okay.
Because he just checked the vision.
Yeah. But it kind of makes sense in a way, right? Because
oh my God, it's gonna get away!
That scout,
it's on the run.
It saw no third base.
Yeah, that's a tell.
So look, he's throwing up the Spire. I think that this Spire is in reaction to the scouting that just
occurred.
And
it just got scanned. Oh man, this sucks so much for Impact.
I think he was going for Nidus until this
happened. What
happened.
I would do is actually after he sees a Spire, I would cancel that Spire and go back into Nidus, man. Just keep going.
Absolutely.
Just keep tech switching.
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah. I know how to play Dirty Artosis.
Yeah, no, I know you do.
I'm like, I'm not going to play the game for real.
You're one of those guys that if I scouted, you know, like Dark Templar tech, I would prepare for a Reaver draw.
Yes, I'm always canceling. Already, Impact off to a really great start. Gets these Hellions in here, burning up the workers. You can see Impact trying to spread to reduce the amount of damage they can take. Oh, no. If they get one more hit,
oh my God,
10 workers
drones.
killed. You know what's funny is he thought it was going to end. And so he's like, okay, I think I've got this calculated in my head correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
And then so he sends it back, and then there's like one last shot while all the drones are next to each other.
14 drones. Impact is just taking way too much damage in this early game.
Yeah.
This is absolutely brutal. Like, TY is in great shape. Nothing about what Impact has done here has worked out thus far. Not looking good for my young Zerg hope.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is TY. He did almost win GSL
Yeah.
not long ago. So we might still see some more promise from him. But, yeah, I mean, I'm on the same page as you. I thought he was going to be playing a little bit better. You know what? He still might get out of this group. We don't know. But
Absolutely. Like, ZVP is a completely different matchup. And, a lot of people are still saying, despite these buffs that have occurred, maybe... Well, I've seen, like, a lot of people shifting opinion now about how this matchup goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the interviews that we showed were filmed before, the switch to Queens. But... I don't know. TY is definitely a very good TVZ player.
Yeah, phenomenal. He's got 4 Liberators moving out here, and
wow.
He's going to scan. We don't normally see this
That's
at this
a lot.
point.
No, you don't.
All together, by the way. Normally you got like one over here and another one